What's going on, everybody? Marvel the Cross 316 back with another comic book flashback. And today, folks, we are looking at Fantastic Four issue number 20. This issue came out in November of 1963. And today, folks, we are going to be looking at the first appearance of the Molecule Man. He's a unique villain to the Fantastic Four, and the Fantastic Four are going to be fighting him for the first time in this issue. As he debuts in this issue, we have him on the cover here. This is him right here. And so let's go ahead now and dive on into today's issue. Today's title is The Mysterious Molecule Man. And yes, folks, that's who we're going to be focusing on today. The Fantastic Four are going to be fighting him today, and that's going to be pretty cool to see. And as always, got to give credit where credit is due. This issue is brought to you by Stan Lee, who wrote this issue. We have Jack Kirby on the artwork, the inking by Dick Ayers, and a lettering page by Art Simek. So the Fantastic Four, they are all in Reed's lab, and they are studying this rock that had just fell from outer space. It's this alien form of rock here, and we see that Ben Grimm is going to yank it out of its place here, and they look inside, and there is this some form of dehydrated looking acorn, and it looks organic. And so Reed is starting to study this, and he's like, if this is true, if this is what we think it is, then there has to be life outside of the Earth. There's life in outer space. All of a sudden, we see that there's a lot of commotion going on down in the streets as there's this flaming blue fireball right in the midst of the city. And so the Fantastic Four are going to go and check this out and investigate. And when they tried to take down this blue fireball, they're not able to do anything. It's like inorganic, it's just floating there, and they can't do anything about it. They use their brute strength, every power that they can think of to stop this blue fireball. And we see that Sue Storms, the Invisible Girl, is going to be sucked right into this flaming fireball. And so the Fantastic Four are going to go into it as well. And when they reach into the other side, they're going to meet none other than the Watcher. Now, we haven't seen the Watcher since issue number 13, where he made his first appearance. So this is his second appearance in this issue. So that's important to understand, folks. Not only is this the first appearance of the Molecule Man in this issue, but we had the second appearance of the Watcher. And the Watcher is going to alert the Fantastic Four about the menace of the Molecule Man. Now, who is the Molecule Man? He is this geeky, puny, ridiculous-looking laboratory technician. And he is going to be a threat because of what happened to him at this Acme lab here. He is just a technician. He's working at Atomics Corp. He's been working there for 12 years, but yet no one really knows who he is. A lot of people don't even know his name. When all of a sudden, in a 1,000,000,000,000 chance accident, he was caught in the midst of his work. There was an explosion, and due to the aftermath of that accident, his whole body was altered, including his face. His face became horrible looking. He was fired from his job, and because of him being fired, his boss was then covered in ice. And we see that this guy now has the power to have the molecules of all the Earth, and he can use them to his advantage. He has control over all the molecules in the air. That is pretty dangerous. And that is why the Watcher has alerted the Fantastic Four, because the Molecule Man must be stopped. He could wipe out an entire solar system if he so desired. And so the Watcher, his main thing is that he is a Watcher. He cannot interfere with the Earth's actions or the timeline. But what he can do is he can alert heroes like the Fantastic Four to stop menaces like the Molecule Man. And so that's what he's going to do. When the Fantastic Four return to New York City, they discover that the Baxter Building has been removed from its foundation, and the person that is responsible for removing the Fantastic Four Baxter building is none other than the Molecule Man, where he is giving these commands where he wants all of New York citizens to obey his commands, to be subject to him like a king. And so the Fantastic Four are going to meet his threats here by trying to take him down. Now, one thing we need to understand is that the Molecule Man, all his power derives within this wand here. And we don't really get an answer as to why he uses a wand instead of actually using maybe his hands or another power. But that's how Jack Kirby and Stan Lee explains his powers. A lot of his power is pretty much in this wand, and he has control over all the molecules of the air here. And the Fantastic Four are just going to have a very difficult time with the threat of the Molecule Man. They try their very best to come up against the Molecule Man, but it seems that nothing seems to stop them. And so the Molecule Man has an advantage over the Fantastic Four. And so we see that they again try their very best to stop the Molecule Man, but nothing seems to be working here. And so we see that the Thing is almost close to tackling the Fantastic Four when then the Molecule Man is going to take some of the electric molecules from this sign here, and then he fires these lightning bolts straight at the Thing here. The Thing then dives into this manhole, and then the Molecule Man's like, "Oh, you're a fool for going down there." So then he takes all of the pipes down in the below the streets, and he's going to cause those pipes to entrap the Thing here. So then the Human Torch is going to have to rescue the Thing as the Thing is being suffocated with those pipes here. Meanwhile, we see that Reed Richards and Sue are going to come up with a plan. We see that the Invisible Girl is going to become invisible to try to sneak around and take the wand out of the Molecule Man's hand here, while Mr. Fantastic is going to distract him. And while that is taking place, and Mr. Fantastic is being, just thrown with all kinds of bricks here, we see that the Invisible Girl is going to try to take the wand out of the Molecule Man's hand, but he then discovers that it is the Invisible Girl. He takes and points his wand and points it towards his newspaper stand, causing the newspapers to then entrap the Invisible Girl. Reed Richards saves the Invisible Girl, and they take all these newspapers from her so that she doesn't suffocate. We see then that the Human Torch is going to entrap the Molecule Man with a wall of fire here, and then they make their escape. But this does not look good to the citizens of New York City. They think that the Fantastic Four are running away like cowards here, but in actuality they are returning to the Baxter building to come up with a new plan to defeat the Molecule Man. So while this is all taking place, the police show up. They think that they can just cause the Molecule Man to drop his weapon and give up, but that's not going to happen here. So the Fantastic Four leave in defeat here. They feel, absolutely down in the dirt here. They get on this subway train just to get back to the Baxter building. But meanwhile, we see the Molecule Man is going to use his wand here, and he's going to entrap the entire city with this glass cage here of Manhattan here. So not even the Air Force can help. And so the Fantastic Four are now being hunted like animals here, as we see that the Molecule Man gives the order to all the citizens of New York City to search for the Fantastic Four. And we see here that one of the Yancey Street gang members are actually going to help the Fantastic Four to not be spotted here as they get into this horse and buggy here. And they're going to go to Alicia Masters' apartment here. That is the girlfriend of the Thing here. And that's where they're going to formulate their plan. Reed Richards starts to think, what can we do to stop the Molecule Man? I've got it. So we see here that Alicia Masters shoots out the flare gun, alerts the Molecule Man. The Molecule Man comes to Alicia's apartment here. And she says, the Fantastic Four will be right back, but I have formed these 4 statues of the Fantastic Four to tribute for you. And then the Molecule Man gets this idea. He points his wand at these statues, but it seems to not be working. Why? Because Alicia Masters covered the Fantastic Four with this clay, so his wand does not work on organic matter, only on inorganic matter. So the Molecule Man has been tricked here, and this is where the Fantastic Four are going to defeat the Molecule Man. All of a sudden, that blue fireball burst out in the open here, causing the Molecule Man to be sucked into it. And the Watcher comes out and says, "Congratulations, you have won the battle here. The Molecule Man will never menace you again. I have returned your skyscraper headquarters to its rightful place and undone all of the Molecule Man's other deeds, and so farewell, Fantastic Four. You are still the world's greatest group of evil fighters. Your nation, your planet, should be indeed proud of you." And so that is how we end this issue, folks. I hope you liked the first appearance of the Molecule Man. I think he was a pretty unique villain, and I'm pretty sure that this will not be the last time that we see the Molecule Man pop up in Fantastic Four series here. And so I hope you liked it. Go ahead now and drop a like on this video. That'd be much appreciated. Comment down below what you thought about this issue, and subscribe if you have not. And I will see y'all in the next one.